Well, I thought it was time to revisit this project that I started maybe about a month ago or so, and then life just got in the way and I really couldn't devote that much time to it. Now, I had mentioned it in a live stream, and I had said the title of my journal, and it was very interesting. I really didn't get into that much specifics about what this journal was all about. And before I could really explain what I was doing, you would not believe the private messages I got that were very negative, and people that even said, I'm unsubscribing to your channel. Now, it really caught me off guard because it was like, but you don't even know what this is all about. And so it was just curious to me how people really jump to conclusions very quickly. And they do not give you an opportunity to even explain yourself, nor do they give themselves the opportunity to listen. So, um, if you're already, saying, what is she talking about? I don't want to hear this. Goodbye. Goodbye. That is up to you. But if you like to listen and then make a decision or come to a conclusion, well, then relax and listen to what I have to say. All right. This journal all started with an article that I read many years ago in a psychology study. And, well, no, it wasn't even a psychology study. I'll take that back right there. It had to do with Alzheimer's. It was a study on Alzheimer's. And I guess psychology did play a factor into it because they had done some studies on individuals who had Alzheimer's, and they compiled it together with a separate study that had to do with our memory and our capacity for how much we remember, and when we start forgetting what we remember, and then how it all came together with Alzheimer's. Well, in this study, it showed that the average person, by the time they become around 45, 50 years old, they have stored significant memories that will stay with them for a lifetime. But the average person at that age, of those significant memories, there's usually only between 50 to 70 memories that we remember with significance. And that correlated with the other study of the Alzheimer's, where people would start repeating these same things. If you have family members that have dementia or Alzheimer's, you realize they start repeating the same memories, or they live within a certain period of time. And that's because those events and those memories really were significant of who they became, because it had some kind of an impact on them. And so those are the things they remember. Okay, so in this article, it had suggested sit down and start writing any memories that come to your mind. And you will see a pattern of what kinds of things were significant to you. For some people, a lot of their memories might be about their parents. Others, it might be how music affected them, or others might be smells that they remember, and those are significant in their life. Everybody has significant memories, and when you don't think about it, but when you write it down, you start seeing a pattern to the things that really made an impact and created the person that you are. Because everything that happens around you, if you remember it, it had an impact on your psyche, on who you are today. Okay, so I had written out my list, and I started to see a pattern. And the pattern all started going back to different things and situations that happened in my life that had to do with me living during a period of time that being a Mexican imposed certain things upon me. All right. And I'm not going to get into detail now because that's what this journal is going to be all about. I will get all into that when I start putting stuff into my journal. Now, the curious thing, why this is called When I Used to Be a Mexican, is because not that long ago, my brothers decided they wanted to do that DNA test, and it turned out that we were all other kinds of things besides Mexican. And so I saw the irony that my list all came from the fact that I was Mexican, and then the irony to see that I wasn't. And so that's where this is all coming from. It isn't me. Well, never mind. I'm not even going to get into what people were saying. I'm telling you what I'm saying. Let's stick to what my view of all this is. Okay. So, my challenge to you guys that enjoy doing journals. Now, I'm not the writing kind of person when I do journaling. I might put a sentence or something, but I do things more with pictures and gluing and maybe drawing and things like that. But I'm just not one to write. So I thought, well, I'm going to get my list and I'm going to pick a few of the ones that, that were like the first ones that came to me, because obviously those are the ones that impacted me the most. And I'm going to start inserting them into this journal. Now, if you were to write your list, yours might be when I used to be young, or when I used to be healthy, or when I used to be sad, or you're going to see a pattern of where your mind keeps going to as far as these memories. So, my challenge to you is to make your list and make yourself a journal and name it When I Used to Be, and then whatever it is that your list comes up with. So I know a lot of you have journals that you don't know what to do with. Maybe you make them and they're just sitting around, or maybe you've never made a journal and this might be a perfect opportunity to make one. But I really would, encourage you to do it. It could be fun. It might be traumatic. It might be funny. You might have a little mixture of everything, but I think it'll really make you see maybe, parts of your personality or your memory in a way that you've never fully appreciated. And I think it would be fun. I mean, it was fun for me in the sense that I looked at things differently than I really had before. My perspective changed. Let's put it that way. My perspective. I mean, I didn't get any new flashbacks and new memories or anything like that, but I got a deeper appreciation for how things that you may think are small or insignificant in your life, how they really aren't, because you wouldn't be remembering them if they were insignificant. Because sometimes I don't even know what I did last week. Why? Because it was, routine and insignificant. But there's some things in your life that really stand out. And, the flip side to that, too, is that if you're, a parent or a grandparent, you might see how the words that we use toward children, how they may not be that significant to us when we're saying it, but if we start thinking back how those words had an impact on us that other people told us, whether it was in a positive or a negative way, I think it will help us maybe communicate better with children that we have in our lives, how we interact with them, if we can really fully appreciate what those words mean, the significance that's going to have on them maybe later. And, just a different way of maybe looking at things. So, what I suggest, like what I did with this journal here is one that I made during a workshop that I filmed for Encaustic Covers, and I just really liked the way it came out. It's an old ledger that I just converted into a junk journal, basically, and I have nothing but all raggedy old papers in here that some of my eco-dyed papers gone bad, or they got crispy, or my cleanup papers and things like that. So that's pretty much what's in here. Nothing fancy, nothing pretty, because I'm going to end up covering it up with different kinds of things. Okay, so in the back of right here, I put some pieces of paper. You can, if you decide to do this, you could just write it on the page or whatever it is you're going to do. But I put down here memories. And then I put down here that become life-defining moments. Because once you write your list, you're going to realize that in one way or another, those memories that you have, as you remember, they defined you in one way or another. And that's how I came, to the conclusion that the world and the people around me were defining me based on the fact that they saw me as a Mexican person as opposed to seeing me as a person. And so those became my life-defining moments. So what I would really think would be kind of fun that we could do, those of you, again, that are into journal making and all that kind of stuff, if you were to get your journal and put on there when I used to be, and then once you make your list, figure out what, where it kind of leads you to, and do some videos. I challenge you to start your journal, start your journey, and then just put on there a hashtag when I used to be, because obviously you're not going to used to be a Mexican. You're going to used to be something else. All right. So hashtag when I used to be. When you start your journal, no matter how simple or small you decide to do yours, make your top 50, 50 or so list. You may have less. There may be less things that impact you, but you're going to see the pattern. Trust me, you're going to see it. And then as you'll have your list. And then back here, what I started doing is certain people or certain situations that I was remembering certain things. And so then I would write it on here, and then I'm just taping it back here. And then as I do my page that references those memories, well then, I can take it out and use that to remind me, because you're not going to remember everything. When you start making your list, things start flooding in that you forgot about. There was things, I go, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot about that, as I'm, thinking about a certain situation. And then you can take these, and then whenever you find other pictures or drawings or sayings or whatever it is you're going to incorporate on that particular spread, then you've already got your little piece of paper with your little ideas, and then you can go for it and go in and do. I did one, I filmed some of it. I haven't edited it yet. I won't show you. That'll be my first one, and I'll probably have that one out by next week or so. So again, hashtag when I used to be, make your list, and let's see where it takes us. Let's have some fun with it. And please, now if you don't like the idea, now you can leave, now you can have an opinion, but at least now you have all the facts before you have an opinion. Alrighty, okay, I hope we can have fun doing this. Thank you.